Welcome. I'm Kurt Schweiger for C.D.S.P Ghost Chaser with a conversation with Sara Karloff. And welcome, Sara.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me to join you today.
Oh, it's my honor. Plus, I want to say thank you for inviting me into your living room and letting me do this video. I appreciate it. And also, I want to thank you for the many years of keeping your dad's legacy alive and going strong. I appreciate it. And for the millions of fans out there, I'm sure they're very thankful, and they,
Well, it's the fans who have kept his legacy alive. They've done that. They continue to do that with great
uh,
enthusiasm and great honor and great courtesy.
yes, he was a great man. Um, when we were talking last, we were talking about your dad's, how he left England. We know he was born in England, left England when he was 21, went to British Columbia, worked there for 10 years. We covered that. And we were talking about his achievements, which he has many. We were talking about he had three stamps was usually reserved for presidents, which was great. We were talking about the comic book. And I was wanted to talk with you, how was it though, Sara, living with a legend as your dad being a legend? I mean, how was that?
He wasn't a legacy at home. He was my father at home. He was not a legacy at all. He was a very humble, um, sweet um, man. He was a very good listener. He was very articulate, although he was a good listener. He was a lovely, lovely human being, a very well-educated British gentleman. He had been educated in England for the consular service. He was the youngest of 9 children, 7 years the youngest, and he decided he did not want to be educated. He did not want to go into the consular service. He wanted to be an actor. So when he reached the age of 21, he flipped a coin but between British Columbia and Australia. It showed you how much he knew about the theater business. And British Columbia won, and so he got on board of a ship at age 21 and sailed to British Columbia. He thought he had a job with a farmer there, and the farmer didn't know anything about his arrival, but he was kind enough to let him sleep in the barn and gave him a job. My father worked for the farmer for several years, actually, um, while he waited for a chance to do some auditions, and he finally got some auditions with a repertory theater group. Ultimately, my father spent 10 years in British Columbia. He worked with three repertory theater groups, building sets, painting sets, working with the British Columbia Railroad system, sometimes getting paid, sometimes not, sometimes eating, sometimes not. But he learned his craft. He had never set foot on a stage before. He never had an acting lesson, but it was his great, great lifelong passion to become an actor. So he he told the story on himself that his salary was $30 a week when he first stepped foot on a stage in British Columbia, and it was $15 a week when he stepped off the stage for the first time, because it was abundantly clear he had never stepped foot on a stage before. But at least he had a job, and he pursued it with great passion. And he just loved what he did. He was a quick learner. As I said, he worked for three repertory theater groups over a period of 10 years in British Columbia before he made his way down to California ultimately. And it was his intention to remain in the theater, but he ultimately did an audition for a film, and he got the part, and that set him off on his film career.
Yeah.
But
Uh, oh, I'm sorry, Sarah.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that how much Frankenstein influenced me. I don't know if it was Frankenstein or your dad's interpretation of the monster, but I never forgot certain scenes of the film. It was like on a summer day, and they used to have the matinee theaters on a Saturday afternoon. I just happened to be sitting in my living room, and there come Frankenstein on, right? So I started watching it, and it was, it wasn't scary to me. It wasn't a scary film to me, a horror film or anything to me. It meant more to me in other ways. I don't know. It just didn't scare me at all. It was just, and there's certain parts of the film I will never forget. Like the at the lake with the little girl, and when the people were chasing him, the townspeople with their torches. I felt so sorry for him. I wish I could have been there and smacked him in the mouth and helped him. You know, but I mean, your dad's film career and the films that he made, you can just imagine his determination and how his passion for what he wanted to do, and you can see it in his films. I'm just beginning to scratch the surface on your dad's films because I want to dig in before Frankenstein. You know what I mean? I want to dig in and start watching before Frankenstein. Not that I'm going to look past Frankenstein, but I want to see some of them earlier films. I've just started to scratch the surface. I love The Raven, and I love The Mummy, and of course, I love the three Frankenstein movies. I love them, and I'm starting to dig the surface and some of them older films that he did before Frankenstein. I was going to ask you too, Sarah, that I wrote a couple of books myself. Well, I have written several books, but I wrote two books entitled Angels, Demons, and Strange Experiences, Part One, Part Two. Now, I was going to ask you, have you ever had any strange experiences in your life that it still resonates to this day that you can't forget about? Something either paranormal or some kind of a strange experience?
I think we all have had strange experiences. If
Yeah.
you live to be as old as I am, and I'm as old as dirt or older than dirt,
No,
um,
I'm right there with you. I'm getting up there. Believe me.
well, not up here. Um,
I'm here. But no, have you had any I mean just one or two,
paranormal,
yeah,
paranormal. I don't think real paranormal. Actually, I used to have um, nightmares or dreams that somebody had come and was sitting on the foot of my bed. And I mean, I couldn't I didn't dare move, I didn't dare open my eyes, and I was absolutely convinced that someone was sitting on the foot of my bed, and it absolutely terrified me. And a friend of mine, actually, you've met him, Steve,
yeah,
said you manage that by just telling them they're not welcome. They're not there to do any harm, obviously, or they would have. So you just tell them to please leave, and they're not welcome, and to go
right.
away. And they're simply not welcome in your home.
Yep.
And I tried that, and I'd had that dream for or nightmare or experience. I mean, I really felt the bed indented, and I was convinced. And I tried that a couple of times and it worked. And I haven't had that dream or nightmare since. So
Yeah,
I
that
don't know that
works.
that's a paranormal experience or not, but I have to say it has given me more peaceful sleep, more peace of mind, and it worked. And it was a very peaceful conversation with whoever I thought was sitting on my bed. I just told them they to please go away and they weren't welcome in my home and to please leave. And I never had that dream again.
Yeah,
And
yep.
I'm not a disbeliever, but I'm not a great advocate, or nor am I knowledgeable in that area. But I must say, I've always been very grateful to my friend Steve, who told me that was the way to handle it, and it seems to have handled it just fine for me.
Yeah, I've had many paranormal experiences or strange experiences as a child and as an adult doing these paranormal investigations. And oh, I could tell you some stories, Sarah, you would not believe.
Much too, I'm a coward.
I could tell you some things that I've seen in graveyards and all in other places, and I have them, on my YouTube channel there, where I do investigations, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of things out there. I think I've ran into Bigfoot, several things. But yeah, that was definitely a paranormal, uh, maybe visitation or maybe, and you did the right thing by telling me you're not welcome here, though. That's exactly what you should do. They'll leave.
Well, whatever it was, it rid me of this very uncomfortable dream or sensation that I'd had over and over and over again. So I was very blessed by the advice I got. So,
That was good advice
but
Steve gave you.
it's a very badly kept secret that I don't like scary movies. So it's very bad casting me as my father's daughter because I don't like scary movies. I don't like to be discomforted. One time I licensed a haunted house in Salem, Massachusetts, and of course I was expected to go through it and experience it and et cetera. And I said, no, I think I'd rather go through it during the daylight with all the lights on, et cetera. And the employees can be there, the staff can be there. But let me assure you, one of them jumps out and touches me, they're fired. 'Cause I am such a wuss.
I tell you, Salem, Massachusetts has got a lot of things going on down there. That's my daughter wants to go there,
To
where the
Salem, oh,
witch
I
trials were.
I visited it and I held someone's hand the whole time I was there because I am such a sissy.
Oh, Sarah, I don't know. It's so I'm so glad we're having this conversation. And it's just because it's like one of those things. I'm like gonna be 63, so it's one of those things that's on my bucket list to do. I said, well, I didn't meet Boris Karloff. I'm gonna talk and have a conversation with his daughter, and
Oh,
I
I'm
come to
so
know
glad
you.
that you did.
Me too. And I come to know you through, keeping your legacy's father going and you're so
That's the
kind.
fans that do that. That's the fans that do that. They do
Yeah,
such a
and
loving job of it too.
yeah, and you're so kind and gracious to take my phone calls and I probably was a pain in the but I feel like I'm like in touch with your dad in that way where I have that kind of that people told me you're not gonna write books, you're not gonna do you know what? I kept going. I kept going and I kept going until I got my books out there and now I'm doing several different I want to do a movie. I hope to do a
Good
movie
for
maybe.
you. Do it.
I'm gonna work on that. And but it's such a I feel so proud to have met you and talk with you and have this conversation and you know and I'm trying to keep it light, but I try to start getting deep again, you know. But anyway, I was gonna ask you about your father. Did he I drink a lot of coffee, you know what I mean? I drink a lot of coffee, especially in the morning and stuff.
Oh, well, I license a wonderful coffee
Yeah,
called Boris Karloff Coffee, and
I
it's
was
wonderful. And
I
it's
was
put
gonna
out by a wonderful young woman called Dominic Benedict. And it's just delicious coffee. So you have to look for it online, please.
I will. I was gonna ask you because didn't your dad have his own brand of coffee way back years
No,
ago?
he has it out now. We have it out now. So
Definitely.
look online for it, please.
I will definitely be searching that out, no
It's
question.
delicious.
I will are you a coffee drinker?
Certainly.
I I will definitely search it out. I will get some coffee because I love my coffee, and I think coffee is good for you. And you can tell I probably had 15 cups for waiting to talk with you today. But I don't know.
It
I get
only
that.
takes one cup to talk to me.
I know. But anyway, at least we got it done, Sarah. I'm so, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have got this far. But I did go check the StreamYard thing again, and they said it's not on me, it's on them. So whatever they're doing, some kind of technical deal, which I never had. I do a sports channel. I have a UFL Fandens channel where I cover the United States Football League. So I've had, plenty of people on there, Zach Kyleman, James Shiver, coaches and stuff like that, have never had a problem like that, not whatsoever. That was the first time I ever had a problem like that. But
That's
um,
okay. We overcame it.
we overcame
Thanks,
it. We got through it. Thanks to Steve and thanks to
thanks
you.
to Steve Simpson.
Yep, I know it. Thank you, Steve. I was going to ask you what's on the agenda for you in the near future, Sarah?
I'm going to be doing a show I do every year in Parsippany, New Jersey called Chiller Theater. It's a wonderful show. It's a large show. They have one of everything there. They have the latest in casts from the latest television shows or film shoots. They have oh, they have a huge dealer's room. They have wonderful guests from every type of entertainment area there is. And it's held in the Parsippany Hilton. And this year it's the weekend just before Halloween. And I encourage everybody from all over the New Jersey area and the New York area or further than that to attend it. I've done it for 25 years. So it's really a lot of fun. It starts Friday night before Halloween weekend, and it starts, I believe, at 5 o'clock, runs till 11 Friday, and then starts at 10 o'clock on Saturday and runs to 6. And then on Sunday, it starts at 11 and runs to 5. And it's really a great show. It has something for everybody. And I'll be there the whole time.
Sounds great, Sarah. Yeah, maybe we can do part two of this interview when that comic book comes out. I'm definitely gonna get a copy of that
Oh,
comic book.
yes. Legendary Comics has put out a wonderful new book on on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and Cary Gamble is the artist, and he has captured my father's likeness as the creature. So it's just a magnificent um, art. The artwork is superb, and it follows Mary Shelley's storyline much closer than the film ever did. And it's coming out the 22nd of October. And please, it'll be on Amazon. It'll be all over the place. And it's Legendary Comics, and it's just they've done the most wonderful job with this book. And I really suggest everybody pick up a copy of it. I'll be at Chiller signing them. I can, through my webpage, you can acquire them. My webpage is www.karloff.com. And my email is karloff@karloff.com. They made it simple so I'd remember it, and I'd be glad to sign copies of it. It's really a terrific book. It's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with my father as the creature, and the artwork is superb. The story, of course, is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and it's just a lovely story.
I'm
So
definitely
I
gonna
would
get a
encourage
copy.
everyone to pick up a copy.
Oh yeah, I'm
And
definitely
those
gonna.
of you who are listening who are in California, On November 9th, I'm doing a signing of the book at Dark Delicacies shop in Burbank, California, from 1 to 3 at Delicacies in Burbank, California, on November
Definitely,
9th.
definitely gonna get a copy, Sarah. And
Okay.
I'm gonna read it. I know I've seen little bits and pieces on YouTube videos of the artwork and stuff. The artwork looks excellent.
Oh, it's outstanding. How Carrie ever captured my father's excuse me, my father's likeness in that wardrobe and in all that long scraggly hair and
Yeah,
everything. It's remarkable, and all the different poses and positions. He captured my father's face as himself in that character. It's pure genius. So I encourage everyone to pick up a copy of it. I think it's on the market for 29.99 or something like that. It's a real bargain.
definitely. If you're a fan of Boris Karloff, man, you've got to have that
Or
done.
Frankenstein, or
Or
Mary Shelley,
Frankenstein,
or
or
Carrie
Mary
Gamble's
Shelley.
artwork.
Right. Well, Sarah, I'm probably gonna, you know what I'm gonna be doing here probably. I usually do something towards Halloween. I usually do like sights and sounds of Halloween. So maybe I got to get that StreamYard straightened out because I want to have you on maybe a weekly or monthly guest, you know what I mean? So we can talk on ghostly things, different things.
That would be lovely. And I'd also like to talk about the Grinch
Oh,
over the
yeah.
Christmas holiday. I'd
Yes,
love to
yes.
talk about the Grinch.
Yes, I would love to
And
too.
some of
Yep.
my father's other films, like King of the Congo, which was one of my father's early films. He did it in 1929, and it was the first talking serial, and it was done in 10 chapters. It's a wonderfully restored film by a friend of mine, Eric Grayson, and it is just superb. And it's now out in DVD, and I'll have those for sale also at Chiller, but they can also be purchased over Amazon. And that's a gem, an absolute gem. It took Eric 4 years to put this together from bits and pieces he found all over the country. And my father is the star and villain in it. Surprise, surprise. But it's a wonderful film called King of the Congo.
Oh, yeah. I definitely got to get a copy. I hope I don't get a coughing spells. Forgive me, Sarah. But anyway,
Okay, well, let's talk about the Grinch at Christmas time.
all right. Yes, we will. We will do that at Christmas time. It sounds wonderful. We'll do that. What I'm doing right now is I'm starting to get back into this. I get your dad's films. I buy them in sections, like 5 or 10 of them at a time, and I try to. Yeah, I mean, he's got so many films out there. I got to buy 5 or 6 at a time, and where I can find, I either get them at Amazon or I look all over the place to try to find them. But the
He made
hard, some of,
167 films.
yeah, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
a
You know
lot of
how
films.
that's a lot of work right there. And plus, you said he did radio.
He did, and he starred on Broadway in 5 plays. He was nominated for a Tony for his work in The Lark opposite Julie Harris. And then he won a Grammy for The Grinch. So he did a huge body of radio work. He also did 20 some albums of children's recordings, Hans Christian Andersen and Rudyard Kipling. And we're trying to put together a project to animate those, which
Wow,
would
that
be
would
a
be awesome.
wonderful thing.
That would be awesome, Sarah, to do that.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yes, yeah, it would. I would
Tell
love
Harper
that.
Collins that, would you please?
Yes, I will. Well, anyway,
Okay.
Sarah, I'm gonna let you go because I know I've been a pain in your butt enough, but I thank you. Thank you for,
Thank you for having me as a guest, and I look forward to doing this again with you.
oh, me too. And I'm looking forward to the Grinch thing. I'm gonna have a good time. I'll have Christmas stuff up. I got Halloween stuff outside now, but I'm way upstairs. I'm in my office where I'm trying to do work in here, and I don't have my glasses on. My eyeballs are probably bugging out of my head. But anyway,
No, they're not, I can assure you.
oh, Sarah, I tell you, it's just been recent years that the reading, reading of books and stuff like that is a pain in the butt. I can't read anymore. I said either the print is getting smaller or my eyes are getting messed up. But anyway, I can see really good driving. I can see good when it comes to reading or something like that. Wow, man, they just go right out on me. But
Huh?
but Sarah,
Well,
this has been so fun. And I'm telling you
it
now, I
has
want to,
been fun indeed.
yes, yes, and I want to do it again, Sarah. I want to do it with the Grinch at Christmas time. And in October, a little bit later in October, I'll get a hold of you and I'm gonna get a copy of that Mary Shelley's that comic book there.
Please
I can't
do. Please
I
do.
will. I will. We'll go through it picture by picture because I know from some of the pictures that I've seen, the artwork is amazing.
It is, and the story, of course, is Mary Shelley's. You can't beat that, and it's very hard to believe she was 16 years old when she wrote it.
Wow, you know what I mean? I know it. That's something else. And it stayed here along all this time. And she wrote it when she was 16 years old. Unbelievable. And it's still around to this day.
That's
And
right.
yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you too, because a lot of these kids today, they think thriller movies are about blood and guts and splatter and all this stuff. But the real classics are with your dad, Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, and you know, them guys. They don't. The kids, young kids today, they don't even know, what a really good movie is or a thriller movie. They don't know. They think it's like splat, whatever these movies they're on today, which I don't watch them. Can't watch them anymore. They're too much sex and stuff in them. I think it's just ridiculous. It is. But anyway, I better let you go. I took enough of your time, Sarah, but I feel like your family. I love you. I've come to know
Thank
you,
you so much.
and I love you, Sarah. And I thanks to Steve. Tell Steve I thank you very much for putting up with me because I'm
No,
just
I'm
that.
not putting up with you. I'm enjoying you. And I look forward to doing this again very soon. Now, do we
Oh
know what button to push?
no, I don't, Sarah. Do you?
No.
It
Steve,
says,
we have to push a button.
all right. This is Kurt Schweiger from C.D.S.P. Ghost Chaser, and this is Sara Karloff, the wonderful, beautiful Sara Karloff. And we've had a beautiful meeting. Thanks to Steve and her, we've accomplished this. But we can't find the shut off button.
Now
And
we
we
have
will
to find the shut off button.
we are having
Steve, what
technical
do we
difficulties.
push? Oh, I think he's walking his dog. I think he's
Oh
walking
no.
his dog. Ah,
It says, oh
there
Sarah,
should
do
be
we
something there that says off or
it says
or
it says
stop
uh
record. Stop
yeah,
recording.
it says okay. It says this meeting is being
Stop.
recorded.
I bet it says stop recording.
Uh I'm looking. I am
Where did it
looking
say record or start recording?
right right up here, then it says okay. It
No, I don't think so.
says leave.
Leave meeting.
All right, are you ready, Sarah, to leave meeting?
Yep, leave meeting.
All right,
Bye.
all right, bye. Love you, Sarah. We'll
Love
do this
you.
late October and in Christmas.
Okay, deal. Yeah, we don't know how to get off the meeting. Oh, he did. It said leave meeting and he did. I said, oh my goodness, I think he's walking his dog.
Okay.
Yep, it went fine. Oh, I can't imagine that going.